Kody Brown didn't just lose control of his family, he got completely replaced. This statement reflects the current shift reported across multiple insider talks surrounding the Brown family dynamic. At a recent family-centered wedding event, accounts describe a noticeable behavioral pattern. Grandkids did not approach Kody Brown and instead gravitated toward David Woolley and Janelle's rumored fiancé. The sequence culminated in a widely discussed speech by Gabriel Brown, which greatly altered perceptions of authority within the family structure. For several years, Kody Brown described himself as the ultimate patriarch, a role he repeatedly stressed in public appearances and televised segments. His expectations centered on getting consistent loyalty, respect, and authority recognition from both his spouses and children. However, recorded family interactions show a divergence between expectation and involvement. The difference became clear through a recurring pattern: he wanted the title, avoided the responsibility. This aligns with the observation he treated leadership like a crown, not a job. The absence of sustained engagement produced a measurable gap in family interaction, especially with adult children and grandchildren residing outside his personal household. During this time of reduced involvement, two individuals entered the evolving family structure: David Woolley and Janelle's rumored fiancé. Their involvement is defined by consistent physical presence and participation in family events. Reports describe their actions as straightforward but impactful, assisting with daily tasks, engaging directly with children, and keeping ongoing emotional availability. Their method contrasts with hierarchical expectations, showing a model of earned involvement rather than demanded loyalty. The contrast intensified when reports emerged of Kody Brown expressing concern that these people were overstepping boundaries. According to circulating claims, he stated, "They're brainwashing my grandchildren." However, timelines referenced by observers indicate that Kody Brown has not maintained regular in-person contact with several grandchildren for extended periods, including missed events such as birthdays and holidays. This inconsistency led to a widely repeated response: "You can't overstep a relationship that doesn't exist." Behavioral analysis of this case highlights a pattern of dependency on recognition without corresponding action. The difference is frequently summarized as Kody equals authority without effort, while David equals effort without authority. This distinction became more obvious through a specific incident involving a shared family project. According to multiple insider reports, David Woolley and Janelle's fiancé spent a weekend constructing a playground for the grandchildren. The activity involved manual labor, direct contact with children, and continuous engagement throughout the process. The interpretation of this event is often condensed into the statement, "They weren't brainwashing, they were building." The focus lies on observable behavior rather than perceived influence. As the wedding approached, Kody Brown faced a documented dilemma with two possible results. Attendance at the event risked visible exclusion in a public and recorded setting. Absence from the event would reinforce current claims of disengagement. Reports suggest that production teams were aware of this tension, with conflicting expectations between involvement and outcome. Additional pressure allegedly came from Robin Brown, who was said to support a condition requiring written apologies from adult children prior to attendance. This condition did not align with the view taken by other family members. The power structure within the family shifted further through the acts of Maddie Brownbrush and Caleb Brush. Recognized as influential figures within the extended family network, they allegedly set a clear boundary. Only David Woolley and Janelle's fiancé would be acknowledged in grandfather roles during the event. This decision had measurable effects. It directly impacted Kody Brown's authority, reduced his participation in filmed interactions, and affected his relevance within the family story. The situation is described by the statement, "This isn't drama, this is a public dethroning." The professional implications of this shift are tied to the structure of reality television production. Kody Brown's role has generally been central to the program's narrative, and reduced interaction with family members limits available content. If participation in key events drops, the continuity of his storyline is affected. In comparison, Christine Brown and Janelle Brown have expanded their visibility through independent appearances and audience interaction. This divergence creates both emotional and financial implications, especially in a format where relevance directly influences screen presence. During the same time, Robin Brown was reported to have expressed concerns regarding the social inclusion of her younger children. Claims suggested that these children were being excluded from relationships with extended family members. However, public answers referenced earlier family policies that limited contact between households under strict conditions. This historical context led to a widely circulated response: "You can't burn bridges and cry about being stranded." The emphasis stayed on cause and effect patterns within the family's established boundaries. At the core of the situation lies a consistent theme: the distinction between power and behavior. Kody Brown's approach reflects the belief that respect is intrinsic to position, while observable outcomes suggest that respect is reinforced through consistent action. The difference can be summarized as fear versus stability and control versus consistency. This concept is reinforced by the statement, "Titles mean nothing without behavior." The wedding event itself gave a visible demonstration of these dynamics. During the reception, particularly on the dance floor, reports describe children actively engaging with David Woolley and Janelle's fiancé, while Kody Brown was either missing or not approached. The observable result was not conflict, but absence of interaction. This scenario is often described using the phrase, "not hated, just forgotten." The difference emphasizes disengagement rather than active rejection. The most significant moment happened during a speech delivered by Gabriel Brown. Historical context shows that Gabriel earlier showed emotional distress over limited communication with his father, including a documented instance where a birthday was not acknowledged during a phone call. At the wedding, Gabriel addressed the crowd without referencing Kody Brown directly. Instead, he acknowledged David Woolley and Janelle's fiancé, stating, "Real family is who shows up." This comment redirected recognition toward people demonstrating consistent involvement. The impact of this speech went beyond the event itself. Observers noted that it marked a public reassignment of the patriarchal role, not through declaration, but through acknowledgement of behavior. The response from attendees included obvious emotional reactions, reinforcing the significance of the moment. The lack of open confrontation further emphasized the shift: omission replaced conflict. Following this sequence of events, the overall structure of power within the family changed. Kody Brown's position as a central figure diminished, with reduced impact on both interpersonal relationships and public narrative. The result is frequently summarized in one line: "He didn't lose his family, he gave them away." This represents a cumulative process rather than a single event. The situation continues to grow, with ongoing discussions about future interactions, possible responses, and evolving family dynamics. The sequence of events shows a consistent pattern: engagement determines relevance, and presence determines recognition.